Good morning. This is Dr. G. ArunKumar, Associate Professor, Department of Computer Science and Engineering, Madanapalle Institute of Technology and Science, Madanapalle. I am here to just give a brief introduction about introduction, Internet of Things, IoT. So this is going to be my flow presentation. So first I'm going to just give you some basic idea or a basic definition about IoT, followed by, before understanding what is the IoT is all about, first we'll understand the global market in upcoming years, where it's going to be. After that, I'll just started to detail about the different layers of IoT and what are the building blocks involved in IoT. And finally, I conclude my presentation with applications of IoT. So here comes the definition. What is IoT? The term IoT or Internet of Things refers to a collective network of connected devices and technology that facilitates communication between devices and the cloud, as well as between the devices by themselves. So from this definition itself we can understand, yes, it's a collective network of devices. So previously all devices are ad hoc. Now we are going to connect all the devices over an internet or over a network using some technologies. So that facilitates, once it has become an internet, we can communicate between those two devices or multiple devices. So all are readily available over cloud. So we have so many n number of cloud platforms are available for IoT to manage n number of devices, communication, everything. So this is the overall idea about what is IoT is all about. So it's nothing but a collective network, connected devices, and especially to communicate between devices and the cloud platform. Next. So this is the definitions given by some IEEE, IST, like that. They have framed some definition from their aspect, and that thing I have been displayed here. So in the first definition, it's all about a network of items, each embedded with sensors, with which are connected to internet. So here comes the idea of network items, embedded, sensor, all are connected in internet. So this is the overall definition from an aspect of IEEE. So they are conveying all sensors are now embedded. I'm going to connect that particular embedded sensor devices with some network which are readily available on the internet. A second definition is all about a global network infrastructure linking physically and virtual objects through exploitation of data capture and communication. So here comes, we are going to have a global network infrastructure. That means I can control any devices anywhere across the globe. Since it has been available over network, I can control. That's why they mentioned as global network infrastructure linking physically and virtual objects. So I can visualize the particular object. It can be a video cam or whatever the object we can control over internet. So that comes the word of exploitation of data capture and communication capabilities. So meanwhile they can communicate the devices anywhere from the globe. I can monitor, I can check it, I can track the particular object. So here comes the definition of global infrastructure, virtual objects, exploitation to communication capabilities. They can communicate across anywhere in the world. And third definition is all about IoT is a worldwide network of interconnected objects with uniquely addressed based on the standard communication protocol. So anyhow, it is going to be another kind of a network. We should have an unique addressable. So that also they have been ensuring. Everything will have unique IP address for communicating, and that will support the basic standard communications. Okay, so these are the three definitions which relates to your IoT. Before going to see what are the layers of IoT, first we'll understand what is the global market till now with respect to IoT. So this is a survey, or this is the data which I collected from that Grand View Research and Industrial Analysis part. So this particular survey has been taken in Northern America, okay, especially from the year 2012 to 22. So each and every sectors, right from communication, customer electronics, manufacturing, healthcare, retail, transport, and others, all have been growing gradually every year. Okay, so from this we can understand where it's going to be the particular IoT field is all about. in next slide, here we are going to see the global market with respect to 2030. So we should have a long time goal or long time vision about what is IoT all about. Okay, so this is all about, see, 24.1 billion is going to be the market in the year 2030. Likewise, it's going to generate a revenue of 1.2 trillion. Okay, so it includes all, not only in America, Europe, China, all those things have their own global shares. Okay, so with respect to services, so slowly if you see, with respect to services, 66% of is going to be a service based sector, and 34% is based upon your hardware sector. Okay, so this particular insight have been taken from global IoT market size 2030 transforming insights of 2020. So from this we can understand the market is going to be expand like anything. So from this we will create some more interest and start exploring any one of the domains, either manufacturing, everywhere now IoT is going to play a role. Just choose any one of the particular domain and start exploring more about it and create your own idea and start sharing it. Okay, so next slide we will see what are the different layers in the IoT, how it has been designed or how it has been built or how it has been working in the idea of these 4 layers. Okay, so starting from sensing layer, communication layer, management layer, and application layer. So sensing layer is all about the end part. That means it will measure, collect, or physical quantities of real time. So it is all about the sensors. Assume our AC is having sensor. Okay, so it starts sensing about the room temperature, or it starts sensing about the, depending upon the climate outside and inside, it's going to vary the temperature and it's going to automatically vary the temperature of AC. Okay, so it's called all about sensing layer. So it can be an environment or it going to be any one particular region. So from that particular environment or region, it's going to measure or collect or it's going to process the physical quantities of real-time data. Okay, so it's all about sensing layer. Second layer, communication layer. Communication layer here is all about the data which I collected or which I have been processed. It has to be moved to cloud. So from sensing to cloud, we have to move the data. So in the communication layer, it takes care of moving the data from sensing layer. That means from your home to internet. I want to transfer my data or I want to move towards a network. So here comes the communication layer. So here it comes gateways, encryption, SIM module. So all these things are. So ultimate idea here is I want to move my data or I want to push the data towards a network. For that I need a communication layer. Okay, so this is all about your second layer called communication layer. Third layer is all about management layer. Management layer in the sense, see, we can manage one house, one AC sensor data. You think about, I'm going to deploy a huge amount of sensors in a forest to detect forest fire. So think about, I have been deploying 1000 sensors. All the 1000 sensor data I have to collect. So for that, I need a management sensor. So then only I can analyze. So either I can group 10 sensors as one part or hundreds of sensors or 50 sensors. So I have to group and I have to make an analysis and I have to manage the data. And meanwhile, I have to make it as visualization. Okay, so it's all falls under. That means collecting the data from sensors over moved towards the internet. It has reached the cloud. How I'm going to manage? It's all about my management layer. Okay, and last layer is going to be the application layer. Application layer in the sense, depending upon the application, I'm going to choose my interface. Okay, so it's all about industrial applications, it's about aerospace, all about. So here comes the 4 layers of IoT all about. So slowly we'll see one by one layer. Okay, so this is my first layer, building blocks of IoT. So as I previously told, end device node, gateways, connectivity, cloud based application and storage. So these 4 layers will ensure creating a IoT infrastructure or creating an IoT application from end to end. Okay, we'll go one by one. So this is my first layer, end devices or nodes. So here comes all about sensors, RFID tags, actuators, objects. See, as I mentioned in my previous example, ACs will have sensors. Okay, so think it out, that is a sensor. So based upon my sensor input, object is all about, it has to either increase the temperature or decrease the temperature, or I have to on the AC or off the AC. It's all about actuators or objects. Okay, so depending upon the environment condition, these things will be action part will be taken. Okay, so actuators will work either on AC or off AC. Okay, objects is all about different kinds, as mentioned, sensor is an object, RFID is an object. Likewise, we have one more thing called objects, that means it depends. Okay, so these are the various end devices as I mentioned. So here you can find electromagnetic, uh, motion, chemical factories, temperature. So we have to mention the temperature, humidity. Okay, so next comes your proximity, vibrations, vision. So all these are different end devices or different end applications. So just I focus on temperature. So we can measure the temperature in a room, we can measure the temperature in a particular region, or we can measure a temperature across anywhere in the world. So likewise, we have to think about a sensor, or we have to think about some objects to collect the temperature of a particular room, particular area, particular country. So definitely this is going to be a end device. I have to collect the physical data, or I have to collect the real-time data from the environment. So here comes the end device part or a node part. Next slide. So here comes my second layer, gateway or local processing unit. So as I mentioned, sensors will collect the data. After collecting the data, it has to be processed and it has to be transferred to a network. So there comes the need of middleware, IoT readers, signal receivers and transceivers. Okay, it's not only transceivers, it has to process the particular data and it has to move towards the internet. So this gateway and local processing unit take care of processing your data from each and every sensors. Okay, next slide. So how I can connect? So anyhow, all the devices are there. So I have to push all the devices over the internet. So definitely gateway. So gateway may be Wi-Fi, LOR, Zigbee, Z-Wave or Bluetooth. So all these are connecting media. So once the thing uh, devices data, now it has been connected over the gateway and ready to transfer to network. So these are the different connectivity options for devices to connect and transfer the data to internet or towards the cloud. Next slide. So ultimately, so we have collected the data and we have pushed the data over the internet, and now management layer. So management layer means I have to manage all the data. Think it of, as I mentioned, the forest fire, I have been deployed sensor across the forest. It may be miles and miles of kilometer, it may be thousands of sensors. Okay, so I have to collect all the data, I have to collect all the data and I have to store it in a cloud for processing. Okay, so here these are the different methods. So there are so many cloud platforms are available, readily available for handling this kind of a data. Okay, so here I mentioned some of the applications. See, if you take logistic, okay, so definitely every lorry is going to be under a GPRS tracker or somewhere to track the particular service of a particular lorry. Okay, so just think it of whether the particular logistic company will have more than 1,000 lorries, 2,000 lorries, depends. But they want to track the movement of the goods or thing. So here comes one of the application. So definitely I have to collect all the GPRS location of a lorry and I have to track, I have to manage. So this is one of the application. Second one, utility of smart metering. So obviously nowadays slowly some countries started smart metering systems. So depending upon the usage of power at your home, automatically a bill will be calculated from the server. Okay, likewise smart parking. In smart parking we have parking sensors. Okay, to easily identify whether the vehicle lot is free or not. Okay, waste managements, smart buildings are nowadays everywhere we have been thinking about fire alarms. Okay, slowly in malls they are started integrating. So in India at home still we are not installed fire alarms. So once the idea of smart building comes, so we have to install all those things, automation part, all those things will take care. Next, wearables. Okay, so processing of monitoring, so environmental monitoring. Okay, in agriculture major. So these are the different scenarios, how different sensors are going to be interacted, data will be collected and it has been transferred to transfer over a network, and it has been managed in the cloud platform. Okay, so different domains where and all we can apply. Okay, as I mentioned already, smart metering, logistic, remote monitoring of water level, automation, transportation system, health, smart evening, building automations. Almost it is going to be happening in each and every field. Nowadays, industrial automation is booming in one side. Okay, logistics have been effectively managed. Smart metering. Okay, uh, almost most of the industries have started converting of IIoT, MIOT. Okay, so like this they have been adopting in each and every field. So slowly from this we can understand, yes, IoT is going to be the next revolution, like ML, AI, like that. So everything is going to be automate with respect to our needs. Okay, slowly once from home we can control the monitors, we can uh, control the ACs, coffee makers, all these things are started happening in the world. So we should also think about some kind of applications where we can build and we can use it in our real-time applications. So just I have given a brief outline of the industrial IoT or IoT part. Uh, with this, I'll conclude my presentation with what and all we have seen. So first I given a brief introduction of what is IoT all about, some definitions with respect to IoT. I have shared the global market with respect to 2022 and what will be the global market for 2030. And I have discussed the different layers of IoT, right from sensing layer, uh, communication layer, management layer, and finally it's going to be the storage. Okay, and analysis. Actually, fourth layer I have never just covered. It's fourth layer is all about maximum how we are going to convert the data into an analysis part. Okay, that is my fourth layer. And what are the different building blocks involved in building an IoT environment. And finally, I discussed about what are the different applications with respect to IoT we can build and what are the features. Okay, with this I conclude my presentation, and these are the parts what I have referred. And if you have any queries or question, kindly leave your query here, and you please give the Google form. I share the form link to give here. Thank you for your